Hi, I'm Scott Dunbier from Act 4 Publishing.
And I'm Kevin Gardner of 12 Gauge Comics. We're here to tell you about our Kickstarter campaign for Jason Pearson's Body Bags Artist Edition. As many of you know, Jason passed away in December of 2022. He was a dear friend of mine, and in my opinion, one of the most talented comic book creators to ever work in this industry. His work for Marvel and DC on books like X-Men, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Batman, Harley Quinn, and so many others was well regarded. But no matter what he did, it always came back around to body bags, his wildly controversial and wildly successful creator-owned series that debuted in 1996. And all these years later, we're still talking about it. Now let me hand it over to Scott, who is the Eisner Award-winning creator of the Artist Edition format. He'll tell you a little bit about that and why he wants to do this book.
Jason Pearson was someone that I worked with over the years when I was the editor-in-chief at Wildstorm. He was a friend of mine. He remained a friend throughout his life. Incredibly talented guy. I wanted to do something that would solidify his legacy, and I thought the best way I could do that was to put together an artist edition. It takes original comic art and prints it in a format that is as close as possible to what the original art looks like. So you're talking about a book that is printed the same size. This book will be 12 by 17 inches, and it will be scanned in color so you can actually see all the little nuances that make original art unique. Everything as close as possible to the actual intent of the artist. And that's our tribute to Jason.
On top of the Artist Edition hardcover, we have 2 other books we'll be offering in this campaign. Both are 64 pages in length. Both are 8-inch by 12-inch in size and perfect bound. Really nice presentation. The first is called Locked and Loaded, and it is a Jason Pearson sketchbook. It's a convention-style book that has all of his private commission artwork that most people have never seen. The other is called the Artist Edition Plus book, and we're doing that because Jason never sold a single page of his body bags work. That's from the sequential pages, but also the character designs, early concept art, all the way through the final pages he was working on before he passed away.
If you back the book and you get the 2 ancillary books, you'll be receiving more than 300 images by Jason Pearson that have never been printed in this format. So this is an incredible opportunity. If you're a fan of Jason's, this is a great project.
We've also got some add-ons as part of our campaign, like trading cards and print sets and some really great looking stuff. And I also want to say, if you back Jason's campaign in 2015, we have a very special offer for you too. So please go check out our campaign page. Thank you so much for listening to the video, and thank you for your support. Body bags.
Shoot, that was fast. It just reminds me of, there's a internet game meme going on right now where they play the song from, have you guys seen this? They play the song from Whitney Houston, the I Will Always Love You song, and there's kids with like a drum set, and the whole challenge is when she hits that pause right before she busts into the ballad of the chorus, of being able to hit the snare drum at the right time of the timing on that beat. So I felt like it was a little bit right there, trying to like catch the quick cut. I need to edit this trailer and add a little bit of a black fade out at the end of there, because that is really fast, and I would not have won that challenge from the Whitney Houston challenge. But anyway, hello everybody. Happy Wednesday. Here we are, My Wednesday Comics for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. My goodness, we just skirted past April Fools yesterday. Don't know if anything happened to you guys or you were conned. I feel like April Fools, like, nobody really falls for April Fools much anymore. It's like feels like an old wives' tale now. I don't know many people that really fall for it. And anytime you see somebody make an announcement online for April Fools, you're like, whatever, ha ha. It's never really gets me. I don't know. Maybe it's just the people that I follow online. But anyway, my name is Rocky Ballesteros. Excuse me. Rocky Ballesteros, Wednesday Comics. We're going to be talking a little bit about comics today. A lot about comics today, but I actually didn't pick up that much today. So it gave me a little bit of time to think that, hey, this would be a great time to do a My Wednesday Comics / voting stream for the next master study that I'll be working on. And for those of you new to my channel, the master study is where I take a comic page or an image by a legend in the comic industry and somebody who I admire, and I reproduce it from scratch, from blank page all the way to finished inks, and stream the whole process through. Usually it's like anywhere from 5 to, I think the longest I've done is maybe like 10 streams. On a master study is 10? Ooh, that seems a lot. But I have done quite a few streams per artist. And just last week, we finished the Jim Steranko master page study from Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Turned out awesome. It's on my desk right now. Probably going to go up on my bulletin board or framed in a picture frame on my wall pretty soon here. But had a great time with that one. That one turned out awesome. And I'm excited to start the next one. It's not Web of Spider-Man #1. Unfortunately, Mark's music obsession won't be that one. Not at least not this week. But there's going to be some good stuff to look at for that part. So that's going to be coupled with today's My Wednesday Comics. And I do have a little bit, it'll be a little bit of a shorter stream today because I have a kind of a hard cutoff. But yeah, that's what we got going on today. It was a little crazy to get to the store today, but I managed to do it. And like I said, not that much. There's a few things, well, we'll talk about it in a second. But before I get into that, I forgot I need a sound effect or something. I don't have one yet, but, oh wait, that's not the right logo. This one, that's the logo that we introduced last time. Shoot the Fat. That's what this time is called. It's where it just blah, 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 and catch up with everybody in the chat before we get into the comics talk. So what's up, Comrade Sammy? Good seeing you first in chat. Comrade Sammy, she hit that hello button really quick because I thought I didn't even know that I had hit go live before her comment popped up. So pretty awesome. Thank you, Comrade Sammy, for being on the ready. In all honesty, you just happened to start right as I opened YouTube. That is awesome. Comrade Sammy. Cranberry Lander's also here.
This is a cranberry full of power.
Excuse me. I'm still in the allergy. For those of you who were following me a couple streams ago, still in the allergy haze a little bit. Not too bad. Definitely way better than when that whole allergy thing started. And I talked to a lot of people. A lot of people are having bad allergies. It's still windy. It has been raining. Hopefully that'll calm all the pollen down. But yeah, it's I'm still kind of a little bit of phlegm here and there. So excuse me if I cough and gurgle a little bit during stream. Cranberry says, I was wondering, Rocky, if you were going to do a stream today. Yeah, I was too. I wasn't 100% sure because like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to the store today. I had a couple things I had to get done this morning, both online and running errands. So it was a little crazy, but I was able to swing by and find the things that I needed to find at least. And there was a few books that I had on my list. And out of, I think it was I had 4 books that I kind of had in mind to look at. Only picked up 1 from the store. So yeah, thin week this week. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Cranberry's filling out some legal paperwork. All right. Cool. Emo Trash. What's up, Emo Trash? Phone is literally in my hand and yet it never buzzed for me. Shaking my head. Well, you made it. You made it. I don't know what to say. The notifications are weird. It really is. Sometimes I get like double notifications of stuff and I'm like, you already told me about that. And then sometimes I get no notifications. So I think it's just a fluky system if we haven't already come to that conclusion. Mark's Music Obsession. What's up, Mark? How you doing? How's all the weather going in Florida? Yeah, we've had some very, very weird weather. It'll rain one minute, then it'll be sunny the next minute. It's that spring transition weather. It's kind of crazy. But hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you're doing good this week, Mark. Comrade Sammy says, do we actually get to vote in this stream, or is it also going to be rigged like the last one? Well, that's why when you wrote that, I started the poll right before I went live. And right now the poll says, do you think you get to vote this stream? We're at 50-50, 6 votes. So, can't please everyone. Or can't please anyone. Yeah, 50-50. We'll see. It's the plan. This is the plan. That's the whole the whole point. But we'll see. We'll see if we get to it. We might just be shooting the fat the whole time. Oh, speaking of which, while we're still shooting the fat, that trailer, Springball Terminal Monstrosity, of course, supporting my friend Shant and Jetty at Shant and Jetty Art. Everybody knows Shant. And I do want to show, let me see if I can get this right. I do want to show, nope, not that one. Here we go. There we go. Shant's campaign, 16,685 for Springball Terminal Monstrosity. That's the trailer right there that I showed up top. And then obviously Shant's book, he's working hard on it. Check it out. All the different tiers you can back. Shant already sold out of this tier, which included his issue number 2, vintage issue number 2, which I already have a copy, so I didn't back this tier. I actually backed this tier right here, Inkhead Sketch. Who could pass up getting an original Inkhead Springball sketch by Shant and Jetty? Although he might mess it up and draw not Springball's head. Maybe he's going to draw my head. I don't know. I want Springball's head, in case he was wondering. So yeah, back his campaign. Always want to give him a shout out. Shant's my brother, man. And he needs your support. And I'm so excited for his campaign and how good it's already doing. And I hope he gets more support as the days and weeks roll on. That's a problem, Rocky. You never buzzed me. Sorry. Oh, Emo Trash. I am so glad. Totally reminded me. So I did listen to Epic the Musical. Emo Trash, you've been hounding me for many, many streams. I actually talked to my daughter about this. I said, have you ever heard of Epic the Musical? And she looked at me. She gave me this side eye and she was like, oh my gosh. Apparently it's all the rage with the Utes. So I did. I finally listened to Epic Musical and it's pretty interesting. It's got more of a video game music influence, inspiration than I personally like, but there's a few songs in there that I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty interesting. It's really cool how he kind of crafts this, these stories or these vignettes based on Homer's Odyssey. For those of you who don't know, Epic the Musical, I mean, you can Google it. Emo Trash was the one who told me I should check it out. But it's kind of like a concept album or albums that this person put out online of music based on Homer's Odyssey, and very much like a musical. Apparently has a huge following and it's cool. It's really cool. I mean, that's how a lot of great musicals get started, as concept albums. And so, yeah, I don't know much about this artist. I'll probably start digging into more of the fandom and just hearing, I've heard that there's people that are like doing animatics based on the music or whatever, and I haven't looked at any of those, but you can totally see with what he's doing how it can inspire other people to be creative and want to visualize what he's doing on a music basis. So I did finally check it out, Emo, and I've been listening to it as I've been driving around. So thank you so much for the recommendation. Took me a while, but I got to it. I did get to it. Bonsoir for the 20-ish minutes I've got. Okay. Cranberry voted no. We're still at 50-50. Who knows? It could happen. Only get my partner in crime for 20 minutes. Sad. Must be school. Sorry, say class will be gatekeeping me from 7 to 8:20 East Coast time. All right, you got 7-ish minutes here. So these are going to be the best 7 minutes of your life. I hope it will be reborn since I backed it. Mark's Music Upset. Talking about Spring Balls. Vintage number 2. Is that right? I know you've been looking for that number 2 for a while. So perfect that Sean made that available. And those sold out fast. I think he had 150 of those sold out fast, which is awesome. It's a great way of him selling the extra stock. That's what you call being ready? Oh, yeah, not really. Apparently I've got captions on. Good on you for remembering those, Rocky. I always remember in memory of Mark's Music Obsession's mom. Learned how to do it just for her, and so I'm always going to keep doing it no matter what. So yeah. Totally know what Whitney Houston song you're talking about, Rocky. I'm not lost at all. Totally tracking. Okay, good. I wasn't about to sing it because that would be bad. Cranberry Land just said, I fell for an April Fool's joke. Really? Well, how'd you do that? Or what joke was that? R.I.P. Val Kilmer and all those people in Thailand. Tragic. Yes. So sad to hear, for those of you who didn't, that Val Kilmer passed away yesterday. Amazing actor. Tombstone. Gosh, I remember him from Willow. He was incredible in Willow. The Saint. Batman. I forgot which Batman and Robin he was in. Was it Batman and Robin? Or Batman Forever? One of those. Not one of the good ones. But incredible actor. Really versatile actor. Oh, and Top Gun. Let's not forget Top Gun. And he had a great cameo in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, so sad to hear that he passed away 65. I believe it was 65 years old. That is not old at all. I know he was struggling with some health issues in the later half of his life, but my goodness, that is way too young. And then, yeah, some of those videos from Myanmar with the earthquake, holy cow, those were frightening, really frightening. None of us believe you when you say it'll be a short stream, Rocky. It will be short, meaning I have to end it on time. Maybe not short in the grand scheme of things, but end it on time. I thought of that. I was like, maybe I'd be able to stream more regularly on a consistent basis if I just limit it. I know some people do like hour-long streams, like K-Pop Junkie will do that. They'll like limit themselves. Maybe I should do that. But if I limited myself to an hour-long stream, we'd never get to the comics. Cranberry Lander says the Shoot the Fat logo looks great. Thank you. Just something I threw together. I got to come up with some sort of sound bit that goes with that too. Japanese, that's great. His version of a short stream, that's right. So only 2 hours? Yeah, probably around that. Rocky is coughing up a lung and dying on stream today. I have hiccups. What's up, Jason? Working, it looks like, sounds like, or reads like, working and listening. What's up, Unhinged? Awesome that you pop in here and say hello. Always great having you here. People saying hello to Unhinged. What up, Unhinged? Hail, Unhinged. We weren't pleased because we were lied to in the last poll. No, we're going to vote. What do we got? Let me just check the poll here. It's still 50-50. I mean, come on. We got to, somebody's got to knock it over the edge. Unhinged, did you vote yet? The pre-vote is, do you think you will get to vote this stream? Mark's Music Obsession says, Rocky, I won a Shanth piece on the art auction stream is involved in Monday night. Oh, no kidding. Awesome. Wow, you're just collecting it up. A patron through and through, Mark's Music Obsession. That's awesome. What was the, I didn't see it. What was the art piece? Hopefully it was a painted art piece. I'm sure you got it for a bargain. The Utes, that's right. Shanta's going to get a good amount more backers. Yeah, for sure. There's always like a big push at the beginning. Usually sometime in the middle, there's a little bump, and then the end has a bigger push. So he's on track. As far as I know for Sean's campaigns, he's on track for a good campaign, and I'm really excited. He's been posting, if you guys don't follow him on X, he's been posting some work in progress there, and he did a huge change on an image that I just saw Let's see. He did a huge change on an image. Yeah, let me see. We can look at it really quick here. Where is it? Oh, here. Oh yeah, here we go. Check that out. So that, I'm not sure where he's going with this. I mean, I kind of see it, but that black silhouetting on or shadowing on Springball's face is different than the original. Like in the original print or the original rendition of this, you could see his full mask on, but it looks like Shant's starting him off in shadow here, and you can kind of see it on these. You can kind of see it on these smaller thumbnails here. He kind of darkened him out here, and it's really cool. It's kind of like a lot more creepier and mysterious. I love it. I love it. I love seeing the progression. It's funny because you, as an artist, if you are never given that like pencils down deadline, you can go on forever. You can constantly be iterating on your art and making it better. Sometimes good, sometimes not. And Shant is one of those people that can always iterate on his stuff. I've seen him do it with digital art. I've seen him do it with traditional art. Like we're talking full paintings done, and then he'll just like paint over it and start over and do another rendition. It's kind of crazy. He's a lot more not attached to his art as or precious with his art as I am. Like he'll just like attack it and reset whenever he needs to, whenever he feels like it. But this is awesome. I really like the directions he's going. I haven't had a chance to talk with him about it, but I love it. I think it's cool, especially at the beginning when we don't know who really Springball is. So anyway, cool stuff there. Cranberry says, cool, interesting music based off of Homer's Odyssey. Nice. Yeah. So check it out. Epic the Musical. Obviously influenced by, I mean, a lot of people do it, right? Where they try and modernize or musicalize stories. That's what Lin-Manuel Miranda did with Hamilton to great success. They did another musical that I love called Hadestown, where it was the story of Orpheus and Eurydice and made it into this like New Orleans folksy tale. Amazing. And there's another musical out there called Six, where it kind of goes through like historical female figures and their relationship to, I think it's Henry VIII, his wives. So yeah, really cool stuff that way. So it's pretty natural. Greek mythology is an amazing well of stories and characters and moments and themes. So it's cool to see this person do it. His name slipped my mind, the artist or the composer who did it. But I guess he just sourced talent to be the voices. It's not like they're like super famous actors or actresses singing these parts, and there's no visuals to it, right? It's just their voices. So it's pretty cool. It's a neat. I don't want to call it an exercise because it's pretty realized, and there's a huge fandom already behind it. But it's just cool to see somebody like execute on that, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Now I need to find my favorite animation from one. Okay, send it to me. Send it to me, Mo. You're in class until late, Emo. She's already in class, must be. Love for the CC Rocky means a lot. You bet, Mark. That forever will be the MMO closed captioning, for sure, in my book. It's the only time that course was scheduled via Zoom, so to get out of it the way this semester, I've got classes at either the very crack of dawn or late in the evening. Oh, bummer. Yeah, that's not a super late. Classes aren't fun. I mean, it opens up the middle of your day, but it's not fun at the end of the day. If I'm right, though, this should be the last of the core classes I have to take. Cool. April Fool's joke I fell for was Vaughn Coleman saying he was getting Jim Lee to do a cover for Cranberry Langers. Why do you think Jim Lee would do a cover for an independent book? Jim Lee can't even... Jim Lee is booked up till now until 2050 with the work he's got to do. I thought Jim Lee might have been interested in his project. Bummer, I totally fell for it, though. I have all 3 of the original Spring Ball books, if included in the preview. I was commenting on backing the new... Oh, gotcha. I backed the top perk to get yet another head sketch. There you go. Okay, Mark. You and I both backed it. I think you backed it faster than I did, which is amazing. Unhinged voted. Why are we still... But it's like 8 votes now, and it's still 50-50. What is going on here, people? This is ridiculous. Already messing with the votes. Big Boy... It's you, Big Boy Burgers /MMO. It's you. Okay, gotta go. See y'all. See you later, emo trash. Have a good class. Mark is cheating with the vote. Keep Rocky on his toes for me, comrade. Counting on you. You guys. Don't worry, for posterity, I cheated, Mark. Whoever's voting yes in the poll clearly wasn't here for the last poll we did for a master study. Well, shoot. Does this poll mean anything now? Or just leave it here until it flips? What the heck? I don't know what to do. I'm so confused now. Polls mean nothing. What is life? What is the meaning of life? Oh, gosh. Comrade Sammy says, dang it. Should have asked Emo to pester John to get in here before she... Yeah, maybe John can come in here and knock the vote one way or the other. All right, I'm going to leave it up. I don't know why. Just for the sake of what? Torture. Do I leave up this poll, this 50-50 poll? I'm going to have to how can I get over that? Either I make it harder, I come up with 3 options for every poll, or I have to be quick on the trigger when it gets... That doesn't make any sense. Snooze, you lose, Comrade Sammy. Mark's Music Obsession says, tossed a coin, we get to vote. Tossed a coin, we get to vote. Ay, ay, ay. All right, I'm just confused now. I'm totally confused. I'm going to start talking about comics, and then maybe this will all work itself out. Anybody new coming in here, we're going to remind them to vote, and hopefully only odd number of people come back in here. All right, let's get to comics. By the way, we're at 507 subscribers right now, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. What's our... Just want to look really quick what our watch hours are. Well, it's always like a couple days behind, but as of March 28th, watch hours are 2,554 out of 3,000. So we're getting close. Pretty excited about that. That one's creeping up nicely. Maybe it's because I'm just watching my past streams to make the count go up. I don't know. Cranberry says, I thought Jim Lee could have done it because he's an artist and artists are passionate. Doesn't mean he would have done a great cover. If you got Jim Lee to do a cover on an independent book, you're guaranteed huge numbers already. So that would be incredible if he did. Plus, Jim Lee's been a little silent and Vaughn would keep it under wrap. Jim Lee is just working on a tiny little book called Hush, too, right now. And running DC. He might have time to do a variant cover. Not out of the way. I mean, not out of the realm of possibilities. Congrats, Rocky, on 500 subscribers. Thank you, Cranberry Langers. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to get... You know what? Because John's not here. How many hours do you need again? 3,000. Oh, wait, no. Yes, 3,000. And we are at 2,554. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah. I figure it's either that or 3 million short video hours, and I only have 11,000 of those. So we're going to go with the 2,554 to 3,000. That's a closer number. Doesn't Jim Lee do a show? I don't know. Does he? he has a YouTube channel, but he doesn't post that much. Oh, he does Twitch sometimes. I don't know if he is currently doing Twitch, but I've heard before in the past he did. I have no idea. I don't track Jim Lee's social life. Okay, so here's the first. This is the only book that I got from the store today. And we talked about this book, I want to say 2 streams ago. I saw an ad for it. They're called Silent Missions. Here, I'll zoom into this. Silent Missions. And the reason why they're doing this is because this is the 40th anniversary of G.I. Joe's Silent Interlude, which this book is the book. This is the 30th anniversary edition. I got this probably almost a year ago. I don't know if they're coming out with a 40th anniversary edition. They did come out with a facsimile edition of the Silent Interlude issue, and it looked great. I almost bought it, but I'm like, I already have this hardcover 30th anniversary edition. We talked about this, or I flipped through this on a previous stream. We'll look at it again because it's such a great issue, and it'll set up what this issue is all about. But this was one of the first. This is when G.I. Joe was being published through Marvel, and this is one of the, I want to say one of the first times a comic was told like this. Maybe it was just for G.I. Joe. I don't want to say first time of all comics. I don't know if I could definitively say that, but one of the very few, definitely one of the most memorable silent issues where there's no dialogue, and it's all just visual storytelling. So it's always been like people always talk about this issue, and it makes a lot of difference too, because it's about Snake Eyes, it's about Storm Shadow, who are like ninjas, so like being silent makes a lot of sense. And I remember looking at this issue as a kid and just loving it, just like being blown away by the storytelling in it. It's written by and drawn by Larry Hama, who is one of the greatest G.I. Joe writers of all time, still writing G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. But he also is an artist, and he drew this issue. And here's the original cover right here. And then this is the only dialogue right here, is the title and kind of the credits. And so they printed a facsimile edition that came out this week of this issue right here. And the thing that made it so cool was it was actually printed on almost a newsprinty kind of paper. It had a good tooth to it though. And it just made the lines and the colors just really rich and cool. This is printed on like a glossy stock, and it looks great, but there's something to that paper quality I really loved. Like, it felt so different from a regular standard book. It had some nostalgia to it. It felt like an old printing, but it also was really vibrant, really well printed. It almost made me go like, wow, did they rescan it to print this? But I don't think they did. So yeah, I was really close to buying it, but decided against it. But here's the Silent Interlude issue. Great artwork. Larry Hama's always known and talked about as a writer, but this is a fun issue that he drew, and the artwork's great. Inked or finished by Steve Lealoa. And based on, the cool thing about this anniversary edition is it includes photocopies of the original pencils, so you can kind of see how much work or additional work that Lealoa put into the inks. He's not credited as just an inker. And this term, you see this a lot in comics, is when instead of writing down as inker, artists are written down as finisher. And that, in my mind, that always meant like they put in a lot more than just, the inked line on top of a finished pencil. Like, they had to figure some stuff out. They did a little bit more drawing on top of what was already there. So you can see what Lealoa did to finish on top of Larry Hama's pencils here. So I love that you can see that. I love that this anniversary edition included that, because it just gives you, part of that process and helps you understand how much both artists were adding to the final image. But some great pacing in here. Love all of course, the iconic costumes of Cobra Commander and the Guard and Scarlet and Storm Shadow. This is just classic 80s fun comics right here. Oh, there's some dialogue a little bit. It's been a year, Rocky, since I got this book. I think maybe less than a year. So creative director, or whatever his title is now, Hush Streams. He could fit in a quick sketch. Either way, I'm a little disappointed. He's actually, I believe, president of DC. So a little bigger than creative director. Sweet hardback cover. What about ninjas? That's right. This is the Comrade Sammy silent interlude. You need this silent interlude right here, Comrade Sammy. These are your people. So scary to say that this was the 30th anniversary edition. We're already at the 40th mark, 40th year of silent interlude coming out. That's crazy. So they released the facsimile edition, which came out this week. And then what I saw advertised in one of the comics that I picked up a few weeks ago was that they were doing these silent mission comics, which are an homage to the silent interlude, but they're starring different characters. And this first issue is with Beachhead right here. So we'll look at that. That's amazing. I actually wasn't even expecting this to come out so soon, and pleasantly surprised that it already is out. Yeah, there's just some fun stuff. There's so much that you have to fill in the blanks when you don't have dialogue helping you out to tell a story. It's great. So good. So yeah, the pencils here. Oh, sorry for the reflection. Just the pencils. I mean, it's all figured out here. All the compositions, but it's not tight pencils by any stretch of the imagination. So here you can see, here's Larry Hama's close-up on this ninja doing this hand gesture. It's all there, the fingers and the eyes and all that. But for the shadowing or the shading, he just kind of, used the side of his pencil and darkened it in. But look how, refined that finishing is here that Leo Loa did. And he really solidified these hands, too. So you can just see the side-by-side comparison there. So yeah, it just depends, I don't know if inkers who were considered finishers got paid more. They should have, because they're doing more than just inking. They're really refining what's already there. And I don't know if that's just a style thing, like certain artists, certain pencilers were a lot looser, and then so they had to hire people as finishers as opposed to inkers, or if it was a time thing, like he didn't have enough time to tighten it up as much as he wanted to, so he had to work fast. But then I just included some other stuff here in the back. Another story, another quote-unquote silent story here. I didn't really like this as much. Yeah. So anyway, this is a cool compilation, our anniversary edition, Silent Interlude. So let's look at Silent Missions Beachhead. And let me just check. Oh no, these are the different covers. A new mission each week in April. Okay, so yep, they're doing Jinx next week, which is awesome. The female ninja, that's gonna be great. And I wonder if they have the advertisement. Well, doesn't seem like it. Of the other ones, I believe there might be four different books here. All right, let me catch up here. Cool pencils in there. Cranberry Langer says, you only care about ninjas, comrade. Not everything's about ninjas, Sammy. What a really neat idea. Really neat idea, Val Kunstgeist says. Yeah, it's cool. It's great. It's great. And for, I mean, it's a novel, but it's also for the artist or storyteller. It's a great challenge, and it definitely is, sets the mood for the kind of story you can tell when you don't have any dialogue. So the artist on this is a guy by the name of Phil Hester. I wanted to look up, let me look up what, sorry, switch my view so you're not just seeing, no, we're not shooting the fat anymore. Let me just type in here. I wanted to look up Phil Hester's line of work. Oh, yeah. He worked on Green Arrow. I remember that. He did a run on Green Arrow. I think Swamp Thing. This book called The Wretch. I remember that. Flinch. Kind of like on the fringe. Worked on some not super mainstream books other than Green Arrow. Worked on the Ant-Man book, Nightwing, Namor. Yeah, I do remember The Wretch. I think The Wretch was one of his own ideas. So he's got this very cool kind of graphic style to his work. And he spots blacks, like really bold blacks in here. And there's always like his characters tend to have like a harder edge to it. Kind of Mignola influenced, I'd say, but not 100%. And he's the penciler. Oh, interesting. So there's an inker by the name of Travis Emil. I don't know Travis. I don't know. I've never heard of him before. And the colorist is Lee Lowridge, who's great. He's a good colorist. But that's interesting that Hester is not doing his own inks. I've seen him do his own inks before. But Beachhead, growing up, I always felt like Beachhead was kind of the honorary ninja just because he had that mask that he pulled over his face. Whatever, SWAT team mask or this mask here. So he's a great candidate to do a silent issue. It's cool. It's a cool version of Beachhead. Nice little storytelling moments here. Yeah. Hester doesn't use that much hatching. A lot more just kind of like solid blacks. There's a little bit of hatching there, but a lot more just solid blacks, very graphic approach. It's great. This is so great. This is like comics in its purest form, where you're just telling a story here. Panels are all the same size. I love that 9 panel. We've talked about this in previous streams, like that Bruce Timm Mad Love approach, the Watchmen, Dave Gibbons and Watchmen approach, this like nine panel grid. It's so cool. I'm definitely going to do something like that on a project. But it's cool because it takes away any of the complexity of just trying to be too fancy with the panels and just forcing you to tell a clear story. What's happening? This little kid's walking in here. You see somebody in the foreground. You see like the silhouettes of their feet. He comes up. He's going through their equipment. You know, whether they're dead or out of commission here, this foreground hand gives us that impression. Let me zoom in a little bit closer, just so we can walk through this. So yeah, so he comes in to the scene, set up the scene here, and looks through the equipment. You know it's a Cobra soldier because of that red mark up here. Again, foreground silhouette foot. He's lifting up some rubbish or garbage or whatever, rubble. And then taking that equipment, giving from that moment, you see that red insignia, the Cobra insignia. You see like he takes it, bring it in there, putting it away, and then some sort of conversation with this gal. She opens up their, they look like they're like homeless or like in some sort of abandoned house. And she opens up the curtains behind there. You see a can of fish. Opens up the can. Now she's journeying out here. Wow, this is cool. You see the silhouettes of the Cobra soldiers here. I love this. Look, he used this as it's kind of a negative space reversal here, and you see her silhouette. So she's traveling. You get this sense that she's like hiding, not wanting to be seen by the soldiers, hiding in alleyways. I love that negative right there in her body. It's like a separate moment. Then these guys, she sets up the tent here. She's running towards this tent. You see the guy with his arm outstretched, echoed here in this close-up. And he's got these medical packs. How do we know they're medical packs? They have that red cross on it. Instant icon of that's a medical thing. And she's got that same Cobra inventory. You see a close-up on the insignia. The guy thinks about it, and he's like, all right, I'll trade you. I'm going to give you this phone. This walkie-talkie. Or the Zune. What is this? And she runs. Cobra soldiers find the same dude. He tells, hey, I just got this packet, and she went that away. Great thing is, like, she's traveling from right to left on the panel, and then he points. So you get the idea, like, he's telling them she went that away. She's running. You see the smoke here. Oops. See the smoke here from a distance, and now we're in a close-up where the smoke is coming from. What's the source of the smoke? Well, it's a fire. They lit up a fire for Beachhead. I'm assuming that's Beachhead. Yeah, because he got shot earlier. Then she's like, hey, I got a phone from you. Like, all this stuff is great. Great just communicating the story, and not a lick of dialogue in here. Very, very cool. He's talking on it, trying to get a signal. He's holding it here. Then he sees the soldiers coming. He's like, I gotta go up to get a better signal. And then she takes off running. The soldiers are coming. Puts on his beachhead mask. Then these cool Cobra soldiers. Never seen these guys before. They look awesome. Wow, look at this. Total, like, use of color here. You see the silhouettes, the negative silhouettes of the soldiers come in here. How do we know that these are those soldiers? Because of that black circle, which is echoed from this black circle right here, right? So that's them. And then when the color shifts, one of them gets pulled up from the rafters. I guess Beachhead, because Beachhead is up here high, he like grabs him and they start shooting. Gunshots, boom, 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 boom. His dead body drops in the foreground. This is great. Phil Hester's doing a great job here of storytelling. There's a top-down view from Beachhead's point of view, right? We're looking down on the scene, and you see the soldiers again. How do we know those are those soldiers? They got that black dot right there in the center. Their eyeballs or whatever. There he is in the floorboards now. Stabs a dude through the foot. Ouch. His right foot. How do we know? Because he's holding it right here and he's bleeding from it. And then we're just looking up the stairs. Refrigerator comes down, comes falling down on them. And he's riding it down. He's got a crutch at the same time. And then he just unloads his gun. This is awesome. Really well done. In the meantime, the girl's trying to get a signal. There's those guards again. Wow, this is cool. Really cool. This game of cat and mouse. Oh, this kid just hit one of those soldiers on the head with a rock using a slingshot. They just take off running into the sewers. Man, this is awesome. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, go back to full page so you guys can see the whole page at a time. Love it. When in doubt, when you're in some sort of like tense action situation, do the John Woo thing and you add doves. Just flying, pigeons flying all over the place. It's great. Adds a sense of chaos. It's really poetic. It's awesome. Those who don't know John Woo movies, he always has the like pigeon shots in it. The gratuitous pigeon shots. They make it to the ceiling or the roof. G.I. Joe helicopter is here. You guys are under arrest. Raise your hands. What? Then the rave starts. No, that's not what's happening. They raise their hands and surrender. How do we know that? Well, their guns are falling here. They drop their guns, and we have this foreground gun that's, is this junkyard? And then the helicopter takes off. Beachhead is rescued. Takes the mask off the kid. You don't need this mask anymore, kid. You done good. He chucks it, lands back into the rubbish from whence they came. Nice. Really cool. So, be sure to collect all 5 Silent Missions issues launching each week in April and join us May 7th for the return. Cool. 7 issues. Phil Hester, Danny and Dan Waters, Leonardo Romero, Andrew Cranky, and Wes Craig. All right, cool. I only know a few of those names. But I'm here for it. This is a great start to this theme and this series. These are cool little layouts that Phil Hester included here. It's nice when you work at this size, this kind of thumbnail layout size, you just work out the panels and the flow of the artwork before getting into how cool each thing is supposed to look and kind of the exact proportions of everything. But you get a sense of like, oh, okay, this is going to lead to this action is going to lead to this. And you kind of work all that out in this very rough phase. Similarly, like in animation, you work in like, we used to work in storyboards. We would work in like little Post-its first before we started fleshing them out to a bigger size. It's cool. Very cool. So, what's this? Come for the talking gun. Blood and thunder. Weird. Interesting. This is going to be a cool one. Jinx. I think this will be a good one. She's totally meant for this kind of stuff. So, yeah, this was the only book that I picked up this week. The other books, well, let me catch up in the chat, and then I'll talk about the other books that I almost picked up but didn't, and why I didn't pick them up. Great to be back, Val Kunstgeist. Great to have you back here. That's not true. I care very deeply about whatever it is Rocky's talking about. I still need 13 subs to be able to live stream directly from YouTube. That one review video I did was over 8,000 views and 302 hours of viewing time. It's old now. Maybe some beach or boat streams. Go subscribe to Mark's Music Obsession. 13 subs is not a lot. Go subscribe to his channel, everybody. Let's get him up there so he can stream directly to YouTube. More beach or boat streams? Yeah, definitely. Definitely, that would be cool to see. I think you live in such a unique location and have such beautiful scenery. I would do that. If you have any more, because I think that review video you did, the one that you got the most views, if you have more of that, like that's always worth it. If you can review more things, it obviously has an audience. So I would lean into that, like the things that get you the most views and most engagement, lean into those things. You see is so confuddled when not speaking about ninjas. Comrade can't even type correctly. Ninjas on the brain all the time. It's graphically novel, one might say. Oh boy. I am the chat ninja, so obviously I'm going to talk about ninjas. That's right. Why? I mean, that's on brand. It's totally on brand. Have a great night, everyone. I got to go. See you later, Jason. Occupational hazard. John, why would I indicate whether you'd create a vote or not? You'll just do the opposite.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
All right, I'm ending the poll because it says yes. I got you. 64% yes, 35% no, 14 votes. You guys think you'll get to vote on this stream. And the irony is you already did. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that you did. You already voted. So win-win. No, we are voting on this stream. Hello, John. Good to see you. See you later, Unhinged. John was wondering when you'd appear. Where'd Emo go? She's in class. John always getting his dinner. It's dinner time for the East Coast. You're a chat ninja, not a ninja. Oh gosh, Cranberry, let it go. Been waiting on John to hopefully vote yes in the poll. That's right. John and a couple other people kicked it over. So we're good. We are going to vote, guys. Promise. 2 corn dogs, honey mustard dipping sauce, ranch chicken wrap, beef quesadilla, and Oreo milkshake. In one sitting, John? That's kind of insane. And yummy. Kind of insane. Stuff like this is so good, it really drives home the strength of visual storytelling. I agree. And thank you, Val Kunstgeist, for saying that. It's so true. And it also highlights how amazing comic form is. You can do you could tell the story in a storyboard, like boarding it out for like an animated short film or something. You could do that. You could convert these panels to that, but you will lose some of the beauty and the nuance of what the storytelling is doing. Like this, for example, just going back to this. Oh, no, not this one. Actually, no, this is a good one too. And that other panel here, it seems like Phil Hester loves these kind of negative space silhouettes. Look at that. There's a punch from this Cobra guard punching Beachhead. That's Beachhead's face right here in the negative. Pow, like some spittle or snow coming off of it, smoke or whatever, debris coming off of his face, just to give you the action of that moment. It's great. It's so great. And it's all contained here in this little thing, but you get it. You get what's happening. Same here with that negative silhouette running, the one I pointed out earlier. You can board it like panel to panel to panel on a storyboard, but the way that it's composed here is part of the storytelling. So you can't get that in a storyboard. Only in comic form could you get that. It's amazing. Such an amazing art form. Really, really incredible. Some sweet art and sweet blacks in this second book, by the way. I like some of the robot soldier designs. Yeah, awesome. Silhouette panels, very cool. What's up, Zaid Comics? Good seeing you. Everybody's saying hello. Tactical doves, that's right. I really like that pigeon dove silhouette panel. Me too. What's up, Art and Times, Jay Ryan?
It's actually a really good sculpt.
How you doing? Good seeing you again as well. Congrats on sending the book to the printer, Zaid Comics. Love this cover. Yeah, this is a cool cover. Check out this cover. Look at that black and white cover. A black and white version. I did not see that on the rack, but that's awesome. In black and white. I mean, the color is cool. It's cool. It's a cool color. But man, look at that. It's got an edge to it. Love it. I really like those covers in the back of this book. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. Mark, maybe if you do another review video, get the subs you need. Yeah, maybe. I would do that, Mark. Like, figure out a subject for one of that and try that. Yeah, I would do that. If it's easy for you to do, Mark, if there's a cool product out there that you want to focus on, I would do that. I think that's a good place to do. And just make sure you're having fun while you're doing it too. Like, you don't want to do anything that's like forcing the issue, just to get the subs. Then it becomes tedious. Just do what you love to do. And I know you love audio equipment, and it seemed like that review that you did wasn't a super difficult thing for you to talk about. So I would do that. But if you haven't subscribed to Mark's channel, go do it. Give the man a sub. Let's get him up there, I think, to 50, right, Mark? So that you can stream live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to Mark. That's right. My awakening about the power of layouts was in the 100 Bullets trades in Watched Issue. Just absolute stellar work, and Hester's use of negatives is just so genius. So, did Hester do any work on 100 Bullets, or are you talking about Eduardo Rizzo? Because I know Rizzo did a lot of work on 100 Bullets. I think he was the main artist on that. Or are these just two comments? Hester's use of negatives is just genius. Yeah, to be honest, I've not followed his work that much. I know of him as an artist. I've seen some short stories he's done, but I've never really followed his work. But just seeing how he handled this silent issue really makes me go, okay, now I got to research Hester and kind of check out his other work, because he's great. He's got storytelling chops, and it's not a given that people that call themselves comic book artists can do this. Really, it's a fine art to figure that out, how to tell stories. There's people that can draw really well, that are comic book professionals, that are successful, great artists. They can draw really well, but are lousy storytellers. There's people that are great storytellers, but not that great artists. So when you find somebody who can have their hand in both and be adept at both, then you got some magic. Yeah, for sure. Like, some of the best storytellers, visual storytellers out there, in my mind, are Frank Miller, Mike Mignola, Brian Stelfreeze, Jason Pearson. Those guys. Adam Hughes is great too. Like, those guys are stellar storytellers with pacing and layout. Rizzo's great too. Yeah, really good stuff. So it's definitely not a given just because you're a comic book artist that you can tell a story really well. Art and Times J. Ryan says, I'm a fan of the John Woo Doves. Who isn't? Anytime John Woo directs a movie, I'm always looking for those. And they just seem to get more and more as his movies progressed and became more and more popular. He would just throw in more and more doves. It was pretty awesome. It's either doves or like falling pieces of paper. Like, he had to have like grips on off screen when he was shooting his films that just had handfuls of paper that they would just throw on screen when gunshots were flying. It's amazing. It's a really beautiful visual, and it'd be in slow motion. It's awesome. Excuse me. Rocky, you'd best have shown off your finished Steranko before you ask us to vote for the next. Did you not see it, John? I don't even know. You guys can see it on my community post. I posted a full image of it, but here it is. This is the finished Steranko. Turned out so fun. Talk about storytelling. Great stuff here. Really beautiful stuff. Just visually. And as I was recreating this, you become aware of like what they're doing. And that's a huge reason why I do these master studies, is you just take it for granted. You look at it like, oh, that's a cool page, or that's a cool face, or a cool character. But the storytelling that goes into it, when you have to recreate it yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, like these leaves show up here, and they reflect there. And then this here, this silhouette or effect on the phone, these shadows, or feels like a ringing effect, kind of mimic the leaves here. or just the presence of the flower, right? The flowers kind of guides your eye into stuff that's happening between Contessa and Nick Fury. It's really seductive, really kind of, romantic, and the interplay between them is great. Just how Steranko here chose to make it really abstract and just focus on the lips, or like get rid of the entire background here. Like, look how detailed and like realistic this background is here, but then it's almost non-existent here, and it just creates a mood. Why he was choosing different angles, close-ups, far shots, mid shots, all that kind of stuff is really, really amazing. And it just sets the whole mood of the page. So yeah, this is the finished image of the Steranko Master Study. Excuse me. It is a good amount and tasty and a good price too. Jeez, John. All right, pace yourself, man. Pace yourself. I didn't, in any of that list of what you listed out, John, for dinner, was there anything green in there? Any veggie in there? I sound like my wife. 2 corn dogs, ranch chicken wrap. Maybe there's a piece of lettuce in there. Beef quesadilla and Oreo milk. Yeah, no green. All right, let's see. Not to my knowledge, I'm talking about Rizzo. Oh yeah, but Hester's work in this book is great. Yes. Absolutely. And Val Kunstgeist, I don't know if you were here last stream. If you like Rizzo's stuff, you're really into storytelling, I'll do a shout out on this again. Check out this series. I just found it, just discovered it, just got the whole collection finally. There's 4 volumes, but it's a series called Borderline. Look at this stuff. This is same, I feel like the same kind of mentality of Hester, like kind of cut from the same cloth. Sin City feeling, but it's just black and white visual storytelling. Not silent, but you can just see how good Rizzo is at this. So yeah, check this out, Borderline. It's amazing. There's 4 volumes. It's Rizzo and then another Spanish, I believe he's the writer, Carlos Trillo, who wrote this series. Okay, so that was the G.I. Joe Silent Missions. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to catch up on this, and I'll show you guys this cool thing that my friend Lang just gave me yesterday. Two comment. Yeah, I got it. Gotcha. Sometimes, Rocky, I add an order of cheese bites to that. Also, no greens in a cheese bite. I like those 2 panels from the rafters looking down on the soldiers and the ground level showing the close-up of the boot. Yes, amazing. Amazing perspective of how, like, just changing where the camera is and how it affects the mood, how close you are in to the face or to the boot, how far away he was from the up high. So just, changes thing. John Woo, pull out pigeon. That's right. There are 2 things you can't have enough of: doves and more cowbell. I need a cowbell sound effect. That would be awesome. That's worthy to find. I'm going to put that in my notes. Cowbell. More cowbell. Oh, whoops. Where's that? Notes. Cowbell. More cowbell. We're gonna look for a cowbell sound effect. That's a great idea. Art and Times, J. Ryan. Great study. Thank you. Good job, Rocky. Thanks, John. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more doves. That's right. Hey, listen, guys. By the end of this, all y'all are gonna be wearing gold-plated diapers. What? Now, Rocky, what do you think of sticking with the pure Steranko instead of the editor's changes? Good question. So just to catch up, people, the original Steranko is... why did I just pull that out? So there's a few iterations of this Steranko. Oh my goodness. That's not good. I just had a huge spill. 1 second. I'll be right back. Just knocked over my water bottle. Spilled all this water. So what happened was the question is, whoops, wrong one. The question is, do I like the original rendition, which this is, original Steranko's intent for this page? The panels that were changed were this one. This phone was is off the hook in Steranko's original version. In the edited version, they had the phone on, like, on the receiver. And then this last panel was a close-up of the gun in the holster, which is this gun right here. So they edited that because they felt like this original version here, where the phone is off the hook, and they're kind of doing their lovey-dovey calisthenics here, was too racy for the time, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, and the other thing they did is they edited out these cleavage lines here, right here, and here. They were not in the final printed version. And I've read an interview with Steranko that he felt like, at first he was kind of upset that they did those edits, but then he felt like the edits actually added more innuendo. Because when you think of it, a gun in a holster kind of has, like, after all these panels, having a gun in the holster kind of has, like, you know, implications of what's going on. And I kind of agree with him. I think I like the original, what we decided to do here, just because I like this panel. As much as I like the idea of the close-up gun, I like this panel. I like the scale of this panel. I like the change in perspective from this shot here. So yeah, I'm happy with going about this route and trusting Steranko's initial instincts on this page. But the other page is not bad either, and the edits that the editor did, I don't think it actually toned it down by any stretch of the imagination. It actually made it a little bit more like, woo, when you think about it. So kind of had the opposite effect of what he was trying to do. I got to step out. Thanks again for sharing this book. No problem, Val Kunst. Guys, thanks again for coming in. Hit that like if you can. Hope to catch the next stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope to see you soon. I'm edging towards a carnivore diet. All right, cool. Speaking of vegetables, I actually did have some today. Carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes, to be exact. Well done. Well done. Thanks. I'll give Borderline a look. It seems fantastic. Yeah, for sure. Look at Rocky trying to pull Val back in as he is trying to leave. I just picked up Frank Miller's Ronin Rising collect. So, Art and Times J. Ryan, I have all the issues, the individual issues when that came out, and not as good as the original Ronin, to be honest. The original Ronin is mind-blowing for me. It's one of my favorite Frank Miller things. But I loved it. I still loved it. I think it probably wasn't as good in my opinion because, one, Frank didn't do all the artwork in it, and two, the story is a little cray-cray, a little bit more abstract than the first one, although the first one is kind of abstract as well, or has some abstraction in it. But the second one really like takes you on this like mind, almost poetic trip. But I will say that version, that collector's edition, which is a landscape, like double page spread, almost hardbound version, which I think is the one you got, is a cooler format than the individual issues. I really like that edition, to the point where I'm like, if I find a affordable price for that, if I find a deal for that, I might nab it, even though I have all the individual issues. So I think you'll like it. I think it's a good thing to have if you're a fan of Frank Miller. Okay, gotta go for real. All right. Alan Lau is here again. What's up, Alan?
Hey kid,
What?
I'm a computer.
How you doing, Alan? How fitting that your sound effect is from G.I. Joe and, well, the G.I. Joe spoof. And we just looked at this G.I. Joe book. Which of the master studies so far is your favorite? Mark's music obsession. Are you asking me, or should I make a poll? All right, I'll make a poll. If I can remember all of them, I'm doing it. Favorite master study so far. Okay, let's see. We did Mike, Zach, and sorry, I don't like seeing my hands come in and type. We did Michael Golden. We did Will Eisner. We did Mobius. We did... it only gives me 4... Dagnabbit. It only gives me 4 options for a poll. That stinks. All right, well, we'll just put these 4 first, because we have more. All right, just put these 4 first. See where it is. See, this is why we don't do polls. It's too complicated. Messes things up. Oh, shoot. Okay, I gotta get going. I got a time constraint here. Okay. Did Rocky just pull a Jonathan knock something out? Yes, I did. 4.455 of this video gives the context if you're wondering. Firearm safety is very important. Mark's been on a hardcore diet for the last 2 weeks, trying to shed that last couple pounds of stubborn weight. Oof. Nice. What's up, Bancroft?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
No. I haven't even gotten to the voting yet, Michael Bancroft, which I'm going to get to in less than 5 minutes. The actual voting. The real voting. We're just doing these like faux polls just to warm you guys up, because we're getting to the actual voting. This isn't master study. Yep. He's going to disappoint us on that again. No, I'm not. Spinach Chip is so good. Mo Biggs, hey, what's up? Mo Biggs, hail the chat. Good to see you, Mo Biggs. Michael Bancroft is spreading his virus around. He's spreading the contagious disease. Were you sick, Bancroft? I'm not going to remember what all of them look like for the poll. Oh, gosh. Well, then we're screwed. Pull them up. Oh, John, that's just gotta show them. You guys. Oh, my gosh. Can you show the spirit? Oh, my gosh, you guys. All right. And this one. Okay. Sometimes I feel like a dancing monkey a little bit here. Dance for me. All right. Here we go. Too late, already guessed or voted. We're just going to do it. I don't know if you can change your votes. Michael Golden, Nam. Beautiful 6 panels here. Great compositions. Okay. Will Eisner, the Spirit. This one was a hard one. This was a really hard one, guys. But it was so satisfying to finish. Beautiful. Just feel like the lighting kind of vibrates off this page. Love it. Punisher, Mike Zack. This was the very first master study I did. Still figuring everything out. I love this middle panel here. It's really great perspective, really dynamic storytelling. Mike Zack. Barry Windsor Smith, Weapon X cover. Love this. This was the only cover that I've done so far. So just one image, but man, what an image that is. The Mobius Master Study with Galactus. Well, Silver Surfer's not in these panels, but this is a Silver Surfer story written by Stan Lee and drawn by Mobius. I used a pen nib on this one, which was great. Different than the other ones. I used primarily the brush, Winsor Newton brush on these, but this one was the one that I did with a pen nib, which I really loved. Fun for all these like textures and hatching. And then you guys saw or have seen the Steranko, right? All right, you got it? You guys got it? Mark's Music Obsession says more. These are cool. Alan Lau says, thanks, Alan. Sweet Wolverine cover. As if you guys haven't seen these. Oh, wait, these are the ones you already did? Oh, my gosh. Who am I talking to here? Thought we were voting for it. No, not yet. Not yet. I voted and have a favorite. All great, but Wolverine Barry Windsor Smith for the win is what Alan Lau says. This guy. Maybe I should have an ongoing poll that's just like in perpetuity. I don't even know how to do that. Mo Biggs says Jean Garad used the pen name of Mobius in hopes that he would be mistaken for Mo Biggs. Nice. Isn't Mobius the coolest pen name ever? That is the coolest pen name I've ever heard. Like whenever people come up with like pen names, you're like, all right, dude, but Mobius is so cool. I believe that he picked that name to distinguish himself from his other comic work he was doing, which was not the sci-fi stuff. He started off doing like a lot of Western comics, and he used the Jean Garad as his name. But I believe the Mobius was more for his like sci-fi fantasy work. You don't have the Wolverine on the list yet. Yes, I know. Can I add another poll? No, I can't. I'd have to stop this poll. See, this is why it's so confusing. Okay, right now, I knew you guys would do this. Everything is equal except Nam. So I'm going to take the Nam off. Let's see. I'm going to take off the Nam. I'm just going to call it on the Nam. I'm ending the poll. So we're going to add... This is so confusing. I'm going to go back. Favorite master study. Part 2. Or round 2. So we're going to say Zack, Punisher. Once again, I hate it when I see myself typing. Nam is out. Mobius. Silver Surfer. What's the other one? Will Eisner. Spirit. And now I can add Barry Windsor Smith. Weapon X. And we'll see who the winner's there. And then we got to add in Steranko. See how confusing this is, you guys. Okay, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to confuse it even more. You can do a second poll and then a championship poll between them. Yeah, that's we're gonna try, Mo Biggs. We're gonna try. But if I know this chat, my goodness, they're gonna break this poll somehow. Michael Bancroft says, I prefer the more pretentious Mobius spelling. Ah, nice. You got the OE, whatever they call that. What do they call that? It's not a schwa. A diphthong? Isn't that what those are called? It is pretentious and awesome. Silver Surfer for me, Galactus, Mark's Music Obsession says, you're not the only one. I have my friend Lang. Oh, that's what my friend Lang. I'll show you guys this book while you are voting on the second round. Rocky, have you ever seen one of Bancroft's giveaway? You're not doing bad at all. Hashtag rigged for your pleasure. Oh my gosh. I think I'm doing very bad. Okay, let's look at this while you guys are voting or whatever, or messing with my poll. Check out this. So my friend Lang, who has been in the chat before, a good friend of mine, he just came back from Mexico City and he was on there for a work trip. And he brought this book back for me, which I thought was so cool of him to do that. I have no idea what this book is about other than Hermanos. But it's a cool cover, right? And it was just neat. The cool thing about this is it's kind of this digest-y size, a little smaller than a standard comic book, but thicker, you know, like a graphic novel thickness. I got to use like Google Translate to figure out what is going on. Because I don't read Spanish or understand Spanish. Here's the artist, Hector Yerman Santariaga. Never heard of him before. But it's just so cool. I love seeing comics from other countries. I love just seeing what's popular, what's clicking, the kind of things that they're influenced by, the kind of things that they're bringing to it. He's got kind of this cool, I don't know, graffiti-esque animated style a little bit. It's really urban and gritty. Some cool like splash images here. Again, I have no idea what's going on. It feels like a cyberpunky kind of vibe to it, but I'm gonna have to go through this and translate the story so I can try and understand. But I thought it was cool. It's just neat to see comics from other cultures, both the artwork and the stories, but also like the format and what's popular there. So I love it. I don't know anything about the Mexican comic scene and if it's thriving, if the local scene is thriving and stuff, but I do love, other than seeing like mainstream books translated in another language, I do love seeing local artists or independent artists that are part of a particular culture and seeing what they're doing. So it was just cool to have. I was so thankful for him to kind of bring this back for me and show. So yeah, you get a picture of this guy's art style and what he's doing. But it's a pretty neat indie vibe to it. He uses a lot of these like textures, whether they're zipatone textures or just like paper textures, and layers them on top of each other. I'm guessing he does all this artwork digitally. I'm not sure. That's just my guess. Super stylized face there. But yeah, I like that. I don't know, there's something cool about this size format. It feels nice. It's got this thicker cardstock cover that's glossy. Killer cover. And then how many pages total is this? It's 127, 128 pages here. There's all his like socials there. So I have not had a chance to really dig into this, but I thought it would be cool to show as just something unique that I got my hands on as far as comics. Oh, it's cool. It's got some process stuff here. That's cool. Yeah, the production's nice. Like, it's like produced well. It's nice stuff. I know that South America, probably Mexico as well, has relatively cheap printing processes. So I don't know how much, in relation to like producing a comic book, how much it costs for him to do something like this, but it's good. It's good quality. It's got some, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like a gloss highlights here on the cover, which add to it, give it a nice like sheen. Props to Rocky for having the dignity to refer to it as digest size and not manga size. I don't even know. Like, I think manga size is even smaller than this. Yeah, this definitely feels digesty. Let me see. There's like a Paul Pope digest. Consider this digest. Like, this is a Paul Pope book that I have. I would consider this digest. It's still smaller than this one. This is like what I would consider more manga size. This Cyborg 9. So yeah, it's cool. I like it though. There's something about it that's kind of neat. Messing with my poll, Rocky 2025. Where are we at with this poll? Because I still have to add in. All right, it seems like Weapon X has won this poll by a clear 9 votes, 44%. Weapon X won. I'm going to end that poll. And the last one, the last poll before the real vote. You guys are going to be all primed for the real vote. Favorite master study final round is... Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Disregard that comment. Favorite master study final round is Barry Windsor Smith, Weapon X, or Jim Steranko, Nick Fury. Is that it? Let's see. Let me just look at the poll again. Yeah, the other ones were 22, 22, 20. I mean, we could do Zek and Punish. Yeah, let's do that. So the Mobius one got kicked out. We'll just add the Mike Zek, Punisher as third and fourth place. They could come back and win. What was the other one? Mike Zek, Eisner. Okay, and I will show you guys one more time for just the sake of... Okay, so new poll. So the running ones now are Barry Windsor Smith. This is to vote for the favorite master study that I've done so far. Barry Windsor Smith, or the most recently finished Jim Steranko, Nick Fury page, or Mike Zek Punisher page, or the Will Eisner Spirit page. There you go. Ones that got bumped out were the Mobius and the Nam, Michael Golden Nam page. These are the ones we're voting as far as the favorite master study that we've done on the stream. All right. Have at it, pollsters. All that while I get ready for the real poll. You guys are going to be sick of voting by the end of this stream. Way too much K value in that one, Bancroft. They should definitely watch my black and white conversion short, Sean. Hermano, Michael Bluth. Manger, hashtag Manger. Manga size is the digest size. Mighty Geek Studios. What's up, Mighty Geek Studios? Manga size is digest size. Yes. Yeah, I guess so. Is there an official manga size? So then what would you call that size if it's not... This isn't manga size, though. This doesn't feel like manga size to me. I always feel like manga size is like a certain thickness. And, yeah, just smaller. Like a pocket book, kind of. Like a pulp book. I thought we just did the final master. No! That was the second to the last... The final master study is on now. Logan is the one Canadian import we will never, never tariff. K-pop junkie. Always good to see K-pop. K-pop, we're just saying that you do a good job of like limiting your streams to, holy cow, I'm almost out of time. Limiting your streams to an hour. And I figured maybe I should start doing that so I can stream. I can plan for these better, but it's pointless. Alan Lau says, speaking of manga, I'm currently reading the One Piece manga on Shonen Jump app. I've never been a big fan of it, but many folks swear that is one of the greatest manga animes of all time. I can't wait to hear your review, Alan Lau. Alan Lau is a anime manga connoisseur. As long as I've known him, and I've known him for a long time, he was always the one to let me know about different anime and manga that he's watching. So I'm surprised that you have never read the One Piece manga before, Alan, but I'm really excited to hear what you say about it. I haven't read it myself, but really excited. Cranberry says Punisher is second place for me. Right now the poll, 9 votes. Barry Windsor Smith is numero uno, 44%. Will Eisner, 33%. Jim Steranko, 22%. Looks like Barry Windsor Smith's going to win it. Win it for the favorite master study. Don't worry, Alan, now you have only 1,000 chapters. I know, it's a commitment. I guess since nobody liked the Mobius, I can just take it. We should do a vote on whether we should do a vote for the 4th vote. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, I loved it. I love it, too. I love seeing the pencil lines there. Manga size was designed to fit perfectly in a wastebasket. Ding! Mo Pigs. Calling it out. Calling it out. Manga size is a certain thickness, smaller, not touching that one. Not touching that one either. Huh? Oh, gosh. It's getting worse. 1,000 chapters. That's why it's better to speedrun the manga rather than watching 1,000 anime eps. Manga size is smaller unless you get like the artist rendition. Instead of ash can, it's a trash can size. There we go. Wow, we got a lot of good jokes today. Too late, Bancroft. All right, we're gonna do this now, guys. This is it. We're getting to it. Do we have like a... Is this the right... Yes. Are you guys ready? This is it. We are getting to the actual vote. Oh my gosh, I just realized. Oh yeah, I'm going to end the poll. Barry Windsor Smith won as best favorite master study so far that I've done. That's great to know. That is great to know. Who would have thought? It turned out great. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm going to, because the polls don't stay on YouTube chat that I know of, I got to write down this before I forget it. For Weapon X was first. Wow, I just spelled that wrong. 2 was Eisner. 3 was Steranko. I'm just going to say Zach was 4. And then Mobius... I'm going to say Mobius was 5 and Golden was 6. Really? No Michael Golden love here. Maybe I just picked the wrong one. Okay. Here's the real vote. This was what we've been building up to. So what is the next master study? I know you guys always love to vote for who I'm going to do the master study on. But I've been pretty set on I need to do a master study of this one particular artist. So we're not going to vote on the artist, but we're going to vote on the page. And the artist that we are going to vote on now. Anybody take a guess? I talk about him a lot. Talked about him this stream already. Is Bobo. Frank Miller page. We are going to do Frank Miller. Not just any Frank Miller. We're going to do a Daredevil Frank Miller page. And there's so many Daredevil Frank Miller stuff out there. There's a plethora of Daredevil Frank Miller stuff. But I focused in on kind of the, I want to say mid to late 80s Frank Miller out of these three choices. So I'm going to give you guys three choices of what would be my next master study. You guys ready? All right. The first choice is from this book, Daredevil and the Punisher. This was printed in 1988, and it was I want to say a short story. I don't know. They kind of dealt with like drugs in this series, as did a lot of 80s stories. Just the presence of drugs and kids. This is a cool Jeff Darrow cover right here. I don't know if you guys can see that close up. I can show it to you closer later. It's a great Jeff Darrow cover. Why do I like this page? Well, I love the physical poses of Punisher in this. There's so much drama in this page of Punisher getting shot and falling down, which is ironic because he's the one with a gun, right? But I just loved how dramatic it was. I loved the kind of storytelling that was being shown, and the kid like grabbing the gun after it drops out of Frank Castle Punisher's hand and then pointing it at him. And then I just love those last two panels with the Punisher and wait, I don't think that's the Punisher actually. No, that's the kid's pointing the gun not at the Punisher. He's pointing it at the person who's kind of his coach. But what happens in the page before this is Punisher's just trying to kill this coach because the coach did these horrible things to the kids, like gave him drugs and all this and killed a kid, I think. And so Punisher comes to do his vengeance and Daredevil gets in the way. Daredevil gets hold of a gun and actually shoots Punisher to stop him from killing the guy. That the kid grabs the gun and then points it in the face of the coach right there. I love how Daredevil's head is in between the gun and the coach's face in that composition, that second to last panel. It's so great. And I don't know. I just love all the storytelling that's going on here. And then look at how frightened that kid's look. His face is there with that gun pointing at us, or pointing at the guy, but pointing at camera. Anyway, classic Daredevil page here, even though it's primarily Punisher in this page. But I just loved it. Loved the composition there. I'm torn on this one. I'm a notorious crack slanger, but I would never sell to a kid. It could stunt their growth. It's true. It's true. Didn't people know that back then? Okay, so this is the first page. Will you be coloring this next? No, I'm not doing any coloring, John. We're just doing inks. So it's a good question, though. I love how they treated that page, the black lines on Punisher when he gets shot. They did this like blue treatment on it. It's awesome. But these are great angles of the character getting shot here and falling down, just all contorted and twisted. It's awesome. And then you just track the gun of the storytelling here. Okay, so that's the first page. One. Here is the second page. Option B. Okay, sorry for the bad scan. I didn't want to break my binding on this one. This one is from Elektra Saga. 80s. This also came out in 1980 to 84. The original came out and then compiled in 89 here. So this is an awesome pose of Daredevil bursting out of the frame. So the prior panel, he's just kind of running. I wish I could share this page. He's like running through, or like running up into this apartment, up into the top floor, and this guy's like listening to it. This reporter's listening to whatever's happening, and then he crashes out the window in this top panel. You see Elektra there, and I love this like comic language of him falling on the telephone bowl and like bouncing back up. And then this angle of the guy climbing up the stairs, like really dramatic stuff. Like Frank Miller is such a master at camera angles and I don't know, just like setting up super dramatic compositions. And I love that face on Elektra. That's kind of a classic 80s Frank Miller face that he drew there. So yeah, I just thought it was a great mix of different kind of panels in there, and then having the multiple figures is pretty awesome. That's something that I wouldn't naturally do, but I love that as comic book lingo, visual storytelling lingo, showing like a character, the same character in different poses in one panel. I love that, and I think that would be really interesting to recreate, especially if I'm not coloring it. So you can't tell really like which one is the actual figure, you know? So yeah, that's panel 2 from Elektra Saga, Frank Miller. And then Comrade Sammy says, of course my phone dies. Don't worry, Comrade Sammy. Here's the last panel. This is in Daredevil Marked for Death. This came out, these are issues 159, 160, 161, 163, and 164. These were published from 79 to 80. Wow. Yeah, this is early Frank Miller stuff. But again, there's that multiple pose. Love those. And now I'm like kind of regretting picking that page because look at that roller coaster back there. That's crazy. That'll be fun. But I love these different poses, especially because Daredevil's like flying at us and flipping at the same time, swinging around. And then again, another multiple panel here on the bottom left. And even if I didn't have color, sorry, there's a lot of banding in this image. I noticed this banding is just resolution. It's not actually the artwork. It's just a blue background in the actual artwork. But you do know which Daredevil figure is the main figure here because it's got all the shadowing here at the bottom. These top 3 figures here don't have any shadow. They're just line work. So it's kind of a cool way of showing which character is the frozen pose at the moment and which figures are just like in motion, right? So it's a great way of doing that by adding in the shadow layer on that figure. Then they have Daredevil up here on top of the sign, and then a nice close-up on Daredevil's face there. That's an awesome Daredevil face. I love the treatment of the eyes in that. That's like almost non-existent, which matches up with him being a blind character. Super cool. So these are this is a cool page too. I should have picked this one. There's a lot of great pages here. Really hard to take. And I don't think this will be the only time I'll do a Frank Miller master study, to be honest. I had to narrow it down. I love Frank Miller so much. He has such a wide breadth of work. So that's why I narrowed it down to like his 80s Daredevil stuff, because there's some great, I think it's also when before Frank Miller had such a unique and recognizable style, and he was just focusing on storytelling and just drawing, just pure visual storytelling with like the figures and the camera angles and the posing, as opposed to just relying on like super stylized stuff like Sin City or even like 300, right? So anyway, let's go through them one more time. This is option A. This is from Daredevil and the Punisher. Always a great combo. Such great combos. It's funny. You also you question the morality of your so-called heroes, Because if you're just looking at a Punisher book, you're like, okay, Punisher's the hero, I'm going to follow him. But then you put him up against like Daredevil, and you're like, he's kind of the bad guy here. Now he's kind of like the harsh bad guy. So it's really neat to have these crossovers. So Daredevil, Punisher. This is Daredevil from Elektra Saga, the Elektra Saga. Really cool stuff here. This one feels very much like you're watching a movie. And then, no dialogue going on here. It's just all like posing, visual storytelling. And, option C is from Daredevil Marked for Death. These are also actually Klaus Janson inks. Oh, Klaus Janson. Oh, he did the inks of all of them. Okay, so it's Daredevil. Frank Miller is the penciler, and Klaus Janson is the inker on all of these. Mo Big says, I can't go with A. I can't support abusing kids like that, giving them bowl cuts. John says, this is difficult, torn between B and C. Is Emo Trash back? Did she say she was back? That's way my favorite page. Did I miss it? Oh wait, is this the poll options? Yes, Emo Trash, you back in time for the voting. Last one for sure, option C, Mark's Music Obsession says. All right, okay. So now I got to set up another poll. Jeez Louise, this is getting so complicated. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to set the poll. So how this works, I haven't done this in a while, actually. How this works is, oh, shoot. Where are those images? Pick the mix. Master study of Frank Miller's Daredevil. Okay, so let me see if I can find the images. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, no. Oh yeah, good. Phew. Okay. So first option. So we'll call this one Daredevil and the Punisher. Another option is Daredevil, the Elektra Saga. And the third option is Daredevil Marked for Death. Okay. Reposition images. Kablam. Kablooey. And bingo. All right. Are you guys ready? Okay, I won't. I'm just a figment of your imagination. Yes. Okay, so this is going to show up in the community poll. I'm going to post the link in the chat. Here I go. I'm going to make it. Let me post it publicly here. And post. All right. So how I usually do this, for those of you who haven't done this before or haven't joined us in this poll before, is I opened up this poll. I just put the link in the chat for the voting poll. And I usually like to keep it open for about a day. So sometime tomorrow, I'll close the poll. So I'll post it out. I post it out now. It's public now. Spread the word. Tell all the friends. I'll post it on X as well, on my X account. Follow me on X if you don't already. and just get the word out there. I posted it in a couple other places. And then whichever one you guys vote on, or the people vote on, is the one that I'll start the next master study. And I'll announce it on my channel too. I'll say it in the community post, whichever one wins. So there you go. Go run and vote. Please don't try and equalize all the votes as you guys crazily do. And I know that now that I just said that, you guys are going to do that. But that makes it harder to choose, because then we have to do a sudden death kind of vote, or I don't know how that works. We haven't done this in so long. All right, let's see. Where are we at right now? Let me see. Okay. Close those tabs. All right, so here's where the poll is at so far. Looks like B and C, just refreshed. B and C, 6 votes so far. And of course, we've got 2 neck and neck. Daredevil, Electra Saga, Daredevil, Mark for Death, 3 votes each right now. That's great. Nobody likes the Punisher. Punisher gets the short end of the stick. But awesome. Thank you guys for voting so far. So yeah, I'll leave this up for probably about a day or so, and just to make sure more votes get in. And for those of the people that have not been here, or people who watch this stream later, they can vote. And I guess I should have put something to the fact of, when was the last time I voted? Oh, I say voting will close on Saturday, December. Should I write that in the comments? Who's commented already? Michael Bancroft says Electra for the win. Nice. I only voted once, unlike some people. I'll add a comment. Voting. Can I pin comments? Maybe not. Well, whatever. Voting will... I can't edit. Yeah, I can't edit. Dang it. Voting will end sometime tomorrow. I will get to pick when the vote ends. But yeah, that'll be great. And then that'll be the next master study I will start, which is awesome. It's been a while since we did this voting, and you got more votes and more polls today than you guys know what to do with. So it was just a poll-a-palooza. That's what this stream should have been called, the poll-a-palooza. All right, that's it. So for a week where I only had one book that I actually picked up from the store, we had a lot of good discussion on G.I.Joe, Silent Interlude, and that was a really great book, this one. And from what I read in that ad, there's going to be 5 separate issues of this with 5 different stories. So this first one was outstanding. Great way to start the series. I'm looking forward to how they're going to continue doing this. You know, it could get old. It could get kind of gimmicky after a while, but this one was done really well. So I'm excited to see how they handle the other different characters in it. And next one, I believe, is Jinx. So Jinx is going to be great. How can you go wrong with ninjas when you're talking about a silent issue? So yeah, we looked at that. We looked at the Hermanos book, which I will probably translate at one point. The digest book, manga-sized book. Probably translate somewhat just so I can get an idea of what is going on and maybe find out more about that artist. And then, yeah, Frank Miller, 1980s Daredevil work. That's the goal for this next master study. I am quite daunted by that because I love Frank Miller so much, but it's going to be a good one, and I can only imagine that I'll be learning a lot by doing it. So very excited for you guys to weigh in on that and help me decide which one is the next master study. All right, I think that is all I've got. Mo Big says so many polls, it was like running an art train. Michael Bancroft says, I only know Jinx from Arcane. Now, come on. Jinx was like one of the coolest G.I. Joe action figures of the time, because once they went ninja, then they're like, well, we got to do a female ninja now. And it was amazing. So she's really cool. And I don't think she's gotten, granted, I have not read a lot of G.I. Joe. I'm not a huge G.I. Joe aficionado as far as the stories, but I don't know if Jinx has really gotten her day in the sun as far as being a cool character. Like, this is probably one of the better Beachhead stories that I've read. And it's just a one shot, but it's a really good story. So yeah, who knows? Rhymy. That is now my goal for this poll. Nice. Since you mentioned it, yes, still holding out for the day we end up with a tie and you have to do all three. No, that's not going to happen. We're going to have to do like sudden death or like, I don't know. That's not going to happen, Comrade Sammy. That cannot happen. That would be crazy. Cranberry Landry says he voted for Electra. Cranberry also votes for Peanut Butter Chunky. I just had some today. It's amazing. I'm definitely stealing this long poll idea. That is also a quotable for you, Michael Bancroft. And sorry. Mo Big says, don't blame me. I voted for C. I love it. Where's my sticker? Emo Trash says. Looking like a runoff will be needed. Oh, man. You guys. No. C is winning. Is winning. Should I close the poll? Should I close it now? Oh, my gosh. Let's go. C. Mark's Music Session says. Which is your... Stop it. What's your favorite master study out of the last poll? I don't know. Michael Bancroft is making me wish I had a managing wrench. Oh my gosh. What's the point of voting if you don't do what we want? I don't know. Ask our government. All right. I think that's all I got before I like crack under the pressure of all these polls. Sorry for what happens next, Bancroft. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me this Wednesday. It was super nice, super fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you for all the contributions and the voting. Amazing. I will look forward to see how this poll ends by tomorrow. If you don't like the results of where it's going, tell people to come in and vote or start some ghost accounts to vote in the other direction. That's how we do it. But so far, it looks like, and I'll refresh one more time, 8 votes, 50%, 4 votes for Daredevil, Mark for Death. That's good. That's not a clear win, but at least something is winning. Mark's Music Session says, is it on X yet? No, it's not. I will post it right after I end this stream. Michael, I once ran a huge week-long vote and then just ignored it. You know, we could do that. We could do that. That's our prerogative. All right, you guys. Emo Trash sent my boy the poll, and he's slow. That's all right. That's all right. It's good. Thank you for him for voting. Is that everything? Before I kind of... And with that, I bid you adieu. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you around. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.